What's up, guys? Vince Ready here. Welcome to VinzTalk, where I do pretty much a podcast kind of based thing. I talk to you guys. It used to be with me and Stefan, but that has to require him hanging out with me. But due to us being busy, I decided to, you know what? I'll do it myself. I'll do it myself. And also, shout out to Stefan. His birthday is tomorrow, so give some birthday loves to my boy Stefan. I miss him, and pretty much, yeah. I guarantee he misses you. He hasn't been in this channel for a while. One of the first people that I collab, and also my co-host in a sense. But we're busy. We're doing our own things, and we're not getting younger. And that, but shouts to him. Thinking of ideas to actually celebrate his birthday. So yeah. Other than that, let's do this. We're about to have ourselves you know a good old little podcast or talk or whatever you may call it here. Pretty much I'm just here just to tell you what's in my mind and also tell you about the news, especially surrounding gaming news, that's for sure. And we got a couple of stuff here, especially knowing that I actually did the first take in my car, but the audio was not good due to how loud it was and from I thought it was gonna be better, but there is that idea that I was thinking of recording inside my car for a good amount of my videos. But then when I think about it, I'm like, damn, that's gonna be annoying knowing that there's gonna be either people looking inside of what I'm doing and also like who I'm talking to, for I don't know, or just the amount of cars and also racing that is in the background, probably much more due to me being in the parking lot. But yeah, I don't know. It's just an idea. I thought it went well, but the audio was just not that good. Like you just hear the wind and driving back and forth within my that video that I pretty much you couldn't at least hear, but I heard it and it was just not good at all. But yeah, here I am doing this as a second take in the comfort of my own room. And I'm like, you know what? This is better, I guess. I thought it would be better to actually have it somewhere where I am allowed to be loud. I'm thinking if maybe for my b-boy commentaries, my dance commentaries for my second channel would actually fit well for that, in terms of me yelling and also, but that requires me holding my laptop, bring my laptop to actually at least record the battles and stuff like that, um, and I'm basically referencing my second channel. Also, I did a little interview with my in for my second channel. Pretty much a dance channel called a Spin Theory, where he does commentaries. Legend named Smurf. That I was interviewed talking about how breakdancing inspired me, and also how I was brought up into the culture. And this was pretty much the whole dance thing that I do is way before this whole channel thing, way before this whole me doing let's reads and stuff like that. It's basically my career choice of just wanting to have something to do and something that I kind of enjoy, which is escapism. And that's something that I value. I mean, anything involving escapism, that's why it's just artistry in a sense that I have within me to actually do these reads and stuff. And pretty much I did a good amount of videos actually showcasing that's for sure. But yeah, I actually did a little, the first ever interview I ever did that is basically not part of this channel, but it's part of of me being a dancer, other than me being a webtoon influencer. Anyways, also speaking of collabs and stuff like that, there is this collab coming soon. Gosh, I really want to do one. Pretty much shout out to Dustin from Two Stupid Idiots. I call it Two SI because I just don't calling anyone idiots, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty much expect a video or a collab from that specific channel. It's coming soon, I guarantee you. That's something that I'm really thinking about, but I don't know how. He said have a good mic, and I'm I don't really have the best mic at all. I have a mic. I have this, of course, my phone, but that's just all I have. I am thinking of getting a good mic. I'm thinking of getting a studio and stuff like that. I don't have the access when it comes down, especially where I live. But that's just an idea that that is, and it's also a task that I have on my radar where it's something that I do want. Anybody that's asking for collabs, asking to talk to me, I guarantee you I will never forget. Okay, because it's in my radar. Maybe at some point I might, because in the future I do want to do more collabs and all that. But so far it's just like, in my radar. It's like that's what I'm really thinking of doing. Other than that, yeah, let's get into some gaming news. And I really get lost in certain things that I talk about, because usually in my mind it sounds smoothly, but when I really put it here on VinzTalk, like it's just like it's not that smooth in terms of like what I talk about. And it's been tiring. I had a very tired day. Yesterday I went to two parties. If you follow my Discord, I actually advertise, like, not advertise, but I post on whatever post I put there. Let me tell you, my Discord is not very that organized, to be honest. But I went to two parties and it was just so tiring. Like the second one, like I don't know, I was just so full. Man, I gained so much weight from those both of those parties, which is expected. But man, like, that's why I'm just like, gosh, I'm just out of it right now. I don't know how to talk or anything like that. I'm surprised I actually got through the first half a minute of, just me talking about how my day was. That's already hard enough, knowing that, my mind is just like, damn, I'm socially tired. That's all I can say. I'm very, very, out of it at this point, and I just want to take a rest. Other than that, let's just, I guess rest up. Not rest up. What am I saying? Let's just get into the gaming news. No segue. Okay, I don't know what I was doing there. So pretty much before, I have it organized here, but I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna talk about the major stuff before, I talk about anything that, is nothing really crazy about. Then again, in gaming news, you guys are not really crazy about anything in terms of gaming, that's for sure. If I put a gameplay in this channel, I guarantee you it's not going to do much views. I'm already at low viewpoints. Like, I'm low at view ratings. Imagine me putting in some random gameplay, and pretty much I started as a gameplay, but imagine me doing one. Then again, I'm thinking of actually doing a live stream in terms of doing gameplays. I that's what I want to do. That's definitely an idea that I have in mind. It could be something in the future, that's for sure, due to these emulators that I've been playing. So that'd be fun. Yeah, let's talk about this weird news about this 17-year-old hacker. Basically gave the internet GTA 6 leaks. That's what they call. Yeah, leaks. Listen, I'm not really crazy about leaks. Then again, I'm not crazy for whatever reason. I'm not crazy about GTA 6. Whenever I play games, whenever I want to actually do something out there, in terms of like, in the gaming world, in a way, there's a very few select games that I would play that involves realism, and pretty much that is mostly just, skateboarding games, for to be honest, like, Skate 4, Skate 3, and also just any skate games out there, because I'm still a skateboarder. And also just games like, I would actually like, I'll be curious, like, let me just play an MLB game, just small sport games, stuff like here and there. Not really small sport games, because NBA 2K, MLB is like big, whatever. And but just like, small minutes of just me playing those games. And when it comes to GTA and stuff like that, there's a part of me where I'm just like, man, I live in GTA, okay? I still, like, I still witness that. The amount of crime rate here in the Bay Area, like, are you kidding me? You think I want to play a game that really involves that kind of lifestyle? Ain't gonna happen, okay? Some people, yeah, that's for sure. But for me, come on, I just want some peace and all that. Look at my videos. Ain't nothing really related to know that I would be like, oh, he's into GTA, other than my upbringing and who I am. Like, I guarantee you, maybe it would be different if GTA was like, oh, about a dancer that wants to be, big out there, or something that doesn't involve crime most parts, even though that's the fun of the game, which is crime, and mostly what really GTA stands for. And also, I'm kind of curious of like, what is the story about? But most of the time, I'm like, how am I going to ever play GTA 6? I don't got no PS5. I don't got no money for that. And how am I going to really play it at all in my PC, especially how expensive it's going to cost? And also the fact that it's not out. It's probably not going to be out until I turn 30. For that long, like, I don't know. It's definitely like, a game that I'm just curious. And I did grow up I did grew up with San Andreas. It's funny because that's my life, San Andreas, in a sense. Being from the hood, that's basically, almost every day. Like, what's the point of playing GTA when you live in it? You live in that life, and and of course I didn't like it. But man, every time I see, GTA 4, and also like, GTA 3 with San Andreas, I'm just like, man, this is where I live. This is my neighborhood in a sense. To some people, it speaks to them, but to me, it used to speak to me. But now I'm just like, I'm done with this. That's why I've been laying off with rap music, and laying off with certain aspects and stuff like that, because there's just so much going on in terms of escapism, and from that's what it is, just escapism. And that's why I'm into, like, fantasies and romances, and stuff like that, that a person that looks like me is not usually into. But when it comes down to these games and everything, they're big. Okay, GTA 6 is big, and it's been years, and never thought in my lifetime I would actually see it again, due to how many delays and everything like that. But yeah, GTA 6 is out there, and pretty much a 17-year-old hacker actually got a hack. And pretty much it wasn't surprising. Okay, kids nowadays are just smarter and smarter and all that. There's little kids up in, like, all over the place, having YouTube channels and whatever. And I pretty much don't understand why their parents actually allow them that. And this 17-year-old hacker probably started hacking when he or she was like 11 years old. But man, that is crazy news, knowing that a 17-year-old hacker, it pretty much gave the world leaks of what GTA 6, if anyone's interested in. I'm not really caring much about, like, checking out the leaks. I don't even know how you check them out. But man, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in terms of, like, well, in the news of, like, GTA 6, if anyone's interested. And it's kind of also a cool thing, because we also know that GTA 6 is coming. But it's just unfortunate that the leaks had to happen. It just had to happen. Other than that, a little review here. I'm gonna actually go into this. I played Harvestella. Pretty much with the Nintendo Direct and how it's being hated on because of just the amount of farm games or whatever. I'm not into much about farm games, but if a farm game is good with a fantasy, it's literally like Final Fantasy and freaking Stardew Valley had a baby. Okay, that's what I look at when I saw Harvestella. And I remember seeing this game, I believe, like, I saw this game also, like, the same thing when I was at my cousin's playing his PS5, and I played the demos. And there was this game that is very kind of reminiscent to Harvestella. That's why I was very, very. I mean, it could be Harvestella, but it just really reminds me of look like it. Okay, with a different shade of color or whatever. But yeah, Harvestella pretty much. I wouldn't think it's like it is a farm game. It has farm elements, but I played it, and there's more into it. It's a lot of mystery. It's a lot of sci-fi, very like apocalyptic. I can't speak. A lot of, like, fantasy elements and sci-fi elements, I believe, in this game. Some dark magic here and there, and also some mystery of, like, what's happening to the world or whatever. And it pretty much looks pretty good. Of course, the frame rate didn't do justice of actually showcasing the game, but I actually played a little bit of the demo, and I have to say, and it's only early in the demo. Okay, it was like a few minutes ago that I played it, and it was good. It was really, really good. I'm kind of curious of more of what this game has, despite having a demo. Then again, I played Potion Permit, is that what it's called, on the PC, and it's a demo, and it's a long ass demo. So I don't know, this demo could reach out to, like, be almost like a full game in a sense. And to that, I'm like, yo, that's actually good enough, knowing that it's going to be free, and me knowing that it's going to be $60 when you get the full game. But Harvestella is actually, it's a pretty good, like, I haven't got into the farming mechanics yet, so I'm early on it. But yeah, it's pretty aight. I like it. Other than that, let's get into some Street Fighter news if anyone's interested. Street Fighter 6, GTA 6, Street Fighter 6, where we're going. Pretty much they if there's one thing I really like, is the diversity of these characters sometimes. For those that don't know, Street Fighter, actually, Street Fighter games in general, I've been actually getting a whole involvement in it, because, especially with the emulators and me buying a Street Fighter collection on my Switch, I'm like, yo, these games are just these are some real entertainments. Okay, I really enjoy them. So a lot of times I'm just like, in general, I'm into fighting games. I had a Smash, phase a few years ago, and now this is happening again with Street Fighter and Tekken in a sense, and maybe some more, fighting games, due to how my emulators are just like getting full. Speaking of emulators, I've been playing a bunch of games with them, especially with some stuff like Ratchet and Clank and on the PC, at SX2, which is the PS2 emulator, and also as well as I had to bring the classics on my GameCube emulator, which is Robots. I just had to bring that back. Man, it felt nostalgic playing Robots again. Gosh. And also on the PSP, I played, which is PPSSPP, just double the words, I guess. I played Ape Escape, and also the Sega Genesis collection. I tried to play DJ Max 2, if anybody remembers that game. If you had a PSP and you know what that game is, you're a real one. Because this game is just like, something that I grew up on. And also, it's kind of like, in some sense, one of the first ever rhythm games that I ever played. So DJ Max 2 is a game that, man, I actually really miss, but I try to play in it and it's just keep glitching in and out. And that's kind of like, the game of actually having to play these emulators in a sense, where you kind of either win or lose, it either works or not. And it's kind of like unfortunate if you have your favorite game that you grew up on, you try to get the emulators on it, and then it just doesn't work, and it is what it is. But other than that, back to the Street Fighter stuff, they had like characters like DJ from Jamaica, Rashid from Dubai, which is, in the previous Street Fighters. Kimberly is also a new one, a cool one. And also, as a, b-boy and breakdancer myself, they just had to put Jamie in. I guess like a drunk fighter in a sense, but I saw the trailer for this particular character, and it is straight up a dancer, okay? It's straight up like, inspired by that. Heavenly. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on within Street Fighter, as also returning characters like Chun-Li and Cammy, and also Dhalsim, or some cases. And there's a bunch of characters. I guarantee you it could be your favorites, and either here and there, like Blanca, Akuma, and of course we gotta have Ryu and Ken and Chun-Li, the originals. And yeah, Street Fighter 6, I'm kind of curious because it's going to be like open world base. So I'm kind of interested to see the gameplay for that, of what it really throws out there, And, I'm also excited for like the new like Tekken. Like I'm curious to like, bringing back the characters like Eddie Gardo, Monty, and also like Lily, my favorite. But yeah, and that's pretty much I don't know, that's the best I can give you Street Fighter news. I'm not freaking Maximilian Dude, okay, that guy that is known for doing fighting games. Kind of like one of the biggest channels involving fighting games out there. But also another thing here, yeah, why not talk about the Frost debacle? G4 TV layoffs just happened, and pretty much it didn't really happen to Frost until later. But man, she put out a post called "Let's play some games, yo," and also put a post like of a lizard smoking weed, saying "I survive." If you don't know, Frost, Indiana Black, part of G4 TV, also an esports commentator. Like from what I known her in the league community, she is basically pretty much had that moment where I did talk about it, and I did actually got backlash. People calling me freaking Vin Shapiro, like, oh, you're just not agreeing with all that and stuff like that. And I'm just like, there's a right place to do it. I just don't feel like in this certain broadcast it would have it, especially G4 TV freaking highlighting it. But also like having to just fire her last, well, actually having the others fired, families being fired, and all because of Frost f-ups on what happened that day. Like, from the also like the lack of views and everything, layoffs is a normal thing, especially having that with any other media or whatever. I can only imagine Rooster Teeth. If anybody knows Rooster Teeth, Ruby and all that, Red v Blue, that is having major layoffs because, when it comes down to me on YouTube, listen, imagine me trying to hire freaking editors and stuff like that for my videos. I guarantee you it wouldn't happen because the amount of inflation. It's inflation. People don't like to admit it. People don't like to say it because whenever I say inflation and stuff like that, oh, Vin Shapiro here, oh, he's blaming Joe Biden. Like who else is like effing up our money in some sense when it comes to, in this economy. I don't know. I probably should stop. I am some ways sounding like Ben Shapiro. But what I mean is that, because of inflation, because of certain things like groceries and gas being higher and higher, of course I gotta be honest here, especially as a young adult. I had to be like really honest about, like, yeah, this is what's happening. I guarantee you, I probably am not gonna have my own dorm or anything. All my college classes is gonna be online forever. Forever, ever, because of just how much it costs to actually go there, how much it costs for the books and stuff like that, how much it costs to actually be in a physical class, because really though, it's not cheap. College is expensive, okay? Speaking from me as a university student that is trying to actually finish college and also trying to just move on with my YouTube career and actually get a good job and stuff like that. Just the elements of life that you need. And it's getting harder because of inflation. And you can only imagine that with the dreams of working in G4 TV, Rooster Teeth, or Game Informer, or even Webtoon, that it's actually quite harder out there, because inflation and because of these layoffs that are happening out there. And I can't blame G4 TV actually doing layoffs, because that's kind of sad for many of the families that are just trying to get enough for their food, for doing what they love. And they have to make a career of doing what you love. We're in this phase where we have to do, what we love to do. It's time to actually make it a career, a job. That's what I'm doing with this YouTube channel. I'm trying to actually at least, see if I can pay my bills through this channel. And it's not that easy, knowing that it's like, it's getting expensive out there, But, it could be different for other countries. I wouldn't know. But other than that, yeah, the whole Frost thing, I already said what I have to say about what happened during that day from that broadcast of her yelling about, sexism in gaming, which is, for those, it could be here and there, whatever, and it is pretty much like, I don't know. Do you feel like, she was right or she was wrong or whatever? I can't give you, anything of that, because any sort of like, talking about whatever it is, like, involving like, some kind of virtual signaling. And when it comes down to like, like, especially for me, I never actually bring that up at all. I don't bring out any negativity or any, like, like what's happening here and there. At one point I am like, especially what's, like I would say like, like, oh, much love to the people in Ukraine and also many people that are, affected by this virus, stuff like that. Stay safe. And that's it. But man, she went to like a whole nother level with it, where it's kind of like, she got a lot of backlash, and people don't like that kind of virtual signaling. In a sense, when it comes down to their favorite medias, when it comes to escaping from all the politics and all the, the darkness in the world. But I don't know. I already give my, talks about it. But other than that, it seems like, this is, beginning to be full karma coming all the way around. But who am I, right? Other than that, next up, let's talk about, listen, I don't have a lot of things involving animation news, but Cyberpunk Edge Runner was, let me tell you, I did 1 to 4 episodes, and it was good. It's very good. And pretty much, I believe it's so good that it actually has pretty much multiplied players for Cyberpunk 2022. The game that is known to be glitchy and stuff like that had a horrible, review, and now it's doing the No Man's Sky effect, where basically a bad game comes out and then it actually gets better and better, and with all the patches and all the upgrades and all the reviews that it gets, and pretty much it's kind of like they're learning their lesson. And I believe this anime really actually, they did a smart choice of this anime, especially from Trigger Animations. One of my favorite animes are from that studio, Kill la Kill, Witch Academia, and also just especially BNA. Like, one of my favorites, especially when they put stuff out there in Netflix. Man, they did a good one for Cyberpunk, and I recommend watching it. I couldn't spoil it. I just couldn't do that. I feel like, watching it would definitely do you many favors of actually just enjoying the anime itself. But I believe it's also having this ripple effect of having to have many people being into the game. Discovering more of like Cyberpunk, and with its viewer count as it's in the news, that's kind of a result to it. So, if you ever had like a bad game or something like that, like I don't know, like I'm trying to think of, I would actually call out like NBA 2K with practices being bad game, or Fallout, the previous Fallout games, they're bad. Just make an anime, and I guarantee you they will return. And also have like patches and stuff like that. That's very important. Having patches, I don't know. They probably wouldn't listen to me. Like, what is this guy reading like gay comics and pretty much telling us to make games? I don't know. You can learn something. That's for sure. From me, probably or probably not. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. That's all I want to talk about. I am looking forward to enjoying a good birthday with my boy Stefan, because let me tell you, we've been pretty much, like busy with what we're doing. He's busy with his music. I'm busy with my YouTube channel. We're trying to make careers of what we love to do. And we inspire to be that. We call ourselves two entrepreneurs, two future entrepreneurs. We both relate in such a, whole level when we met at the skate park a long time ago. Man, I will just never forget that day. I just want to give a huge shout out to Stefan, because, it was him that pretty much inspired me to actually build up this channel in a sense, because we do want to actually make a big podcast. But then I move on to like doing webtoons, doing gameplays, and doing stuff like that, and just made something out of nothing. And he's always been there, especially for the many events I've been to. One day I really hope to actually, travel with him, because let me tell you, he's a more brother than me than any other cousin, stuff like that. No offense to all of them, as they're probably watching this, because I did advertise my channel to them. But, I just feel like, he's one of the closest, and he's been through a lot. I can't tell you what, because it's a little personal, but he's been through a lot. Do me a favor, follow him. Support him. He's doing big things that he dreams of. And I remember seeing the mother, like, the mother just has like big dreams. She's such a sweetheart. And she's like, like, oh, my son, I hope to, see him one day. He's got to be performing the big stage. He really dreams of this. And I'm just like, man, that would be so cool. That would be so dope. I mean, the same thing for my mom, mostly, like, but of course, my mom is always like, expected to actually have me to be successful, because, I guess I know better or whatever. But when it comes to ambitions, man, nothing feels better than not only impressing your fans, but impressing your parents. That is one thing, that is something that is so grateful, that I always would like, because my boy Stefan just dreams of actually getting, her mom like her own house or whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you when I see you. One love and a peace.